Brendan Sheridan, I'd like to introduce you. You're the employment facilitator with DESI in the Goulburn Murray employment region. It's a new, you're part of a task force which has been set up in recent times. So we look forward to hearing about what programs and opportunities and activities might be put into place in our Indigo region. Thank you, Brendan. Just one moment, I will make you the host.
Okay, terrific. Thanks, Sal. Yeah, thanks for the Eco Development team for allowing us to do a presentation tonight. I think from everybody's it's really interesting. Everybody who's been lucky enough to be involved in these types of webinars and gets to present. We all have our different areas of expertise, I suppose, where our jobs are a little bit different, but ultimately, we are all looking to do the same thing, and that's what I really enjoy about this being involved in this program. So, my name is Brendan Sheridan. I'm the employment facilitator for the Goulburn Murray region. And I have a support officer, and my support officer is Faye de Helen. Now, Faye is behind the scenes tonight working the computer and putting up the slideshows, because I fear if I was doing that, we could be watching anything. So thank you, Faye. So we've been operational here, as Sally said, since October 2021. And we work on behalf of the Department of Education, Skills and Employment. So a little bit about the Local Jobs Program. The Local Jobs Program it's a federal government initiative that supports tailored approaches to accelerate reskilling, upskilling and employment pathways in 51 regions right across the country. And the Goulburn Murray region is one of those 51 regions. A little bit about the Goulburn Murray region itself. It's a vast and very diverse region. From one end to the other, it changes dramatically. So we cover an area from Corryong in the east, all the way down to a little place called Gunbower in the west, which is the other side of Echuca. And if you draw a line straight from Gunbower down to Warburton, that encompasses Shepparton, Kyabram, and then we come back up and we actually look after all the snowfields as well from literally the northern suburbs of Melbourne. So it's a big area. Our major rural centres include Albury-Wodonga, Yarrawonga, Echuca, Shepparton, Kyabram, Wangaratta, Benalla, Seymour, and of course in Indigo we have Bright, Mount Beauty, Myrtleford, Rutherglen, and all those wonderful little places that we all know. How we're set up. So as Sally said, we have a local task force, but that's just one of many things that we have that are in place. So the structure is with our Goulburn Murray Local Jobs Program. It works like this. So we have a support officer, which is myself, which is Faye. We have an employment facilitator, which is myself. We have up to 10 people that are members of our local task force, and they come from all different regions of the Goulburn Murray. We actually have a couple of members that work outside of the Goulburn Murray, but they are attached to Jobs Victoria, and they're very, very valuable members of our task force. We have a local jobs plan that was created back when we initially started, and that local jobs plan is available on the DESI website, desi.com/local jobs/Goulburn Murray. So I encourage people, if they're interested, to go and have a look at what that local jobs plan looks like. And we also have access to a local recovery fund that supports small-scale activities in each region. It supports employment opportunities, upskilling and training pathways that ultimately we're looking at trying getting people into work and how we can do that. There's 100 different ways to do it, and we're happy to look at each and every one of them. So, Faye, we'll change slides. So the objective of what we do is to bring together key stakeholders, including local employers, industry groups, employment service providers, very, very important to us, local registered training organisations, also very important to us, and we work collaboratively to address the employment priorities across the Goulburn Murray region. Our employment service provider network, as you would all be aware, we have Madex, CBGT, Shoreway, Harvest Trail. Terrell was on there just before. Very hardworking people that do a great job. And with our registered training organisations, I mean, they can be local, they can be the TAFE network through to a private registered training organisation. So what Faye and I try to do is work closely with these local stakeholders. We work closely with our businesses, and we try to develop really strong relationships with these business entities and partners. And that enables us to connect their needs and their requirements with our employment service providers and registered training organisations. And this develops links and connections and ultimately helps facilitate job seekers into work. And we can facilitate with anybody. We work closely with Jobs Victoria, we work with Northeast Len, we work with the C4EM group in Echuca. So we can facilitate with anybody. Next slide. So this is a picture of the Goulburn Murray. So as I said, it's a big region and it's very, very diverse. So from Albury-Wodonga in the top there, as we have a lot of manufacturing in Albury. Actually, our area does encompass Albury. I think we're the only region in Australia that actually straddles two states. So it's quite unique. Albury-Wodonga, big on manufacturing. We look into the Indigo Shire, where we've got a focus on hospitality and aged care. Well, hospitality and aged care, honestly, through the whole region are two hot potatoes at the moment, and they're things that we really focus on heavily. And then we go into our Shepparton regions, Wangaratta, and all through our regional centres, where obviously agriculture is a big player as well. So we'll jump into the next one. Now, we have a local recovery fund. So this recovery fund, like I said before, is targeted at small activities that help provide opportunities for people to get into a training pathway and ultimately into jobs, into work. So the stakeholders can apply for, stakeholders being a host. So a host could be an employer. So they can apply for funding between $10,000 and $200,000 for the eligible group activities. Stakeholders are encouraged to work with us, who are a local employment facilitator, which is us, to develop the proposals that best address the employment and training priorities that they require. So different things that we can do is facilitate accredited training, or this fund will facilitate the accredited training, tailored or non-tailored, non-accredited pre-employment skills, professional development, work experience, employment pathways, internship programs, barriers, and like the Kestrel guys were on here before, and they do a fantastic job. So we can work with anybody. The thing with our recovery fund is the stipulation with it is the cohort of people that go through the system need to be registered job seekers. So what I mean by that, they need to be registered with a government employment service provider. That can be a little difficult sometimes, as I think we need to probably stretch our wings a little bit further, and we may end up doing that. But at the moment, that's what our barriers are. We'll jump to the next one. So what we've got now, we've got an example of what the local jobs program can do. So in a sec, Faye will play a small video. Terrific organisation down in Murray Bridge called the Bridgeton Hotel. Went through a massive refurb, and the people that they employed were local people. And we'll play the video and watch. It's a fantastic little video. Faye, I think you're muted. Turn your... Apologies here, there's no sound coming through on this video. Faye, if you just want to stop it there, we'll just go to the next slide if that's okay. We can't hear it. So, yeah, in a nutshell, what we do is we work closely with our industry stakeholders. And Sally, I've worked a little bit with you, and it's been really good over the last couple of months in trying to facilitate these linkages between stakeholders, particularly in the Indigo Shire, around the hospitality sector and aged care sector. So it's looking at trying to create those links between, those training pathways that, like I said, ultimately lead to employment. So what we do, we work really hard behind the scenes to try and create these links and make sure that everything comes together. Lots of moving parts. Facilitating these things is not easy sometimes, but it's absolutely wonderfully rewarding when it all comes together.
Excellent. Look, if people are keen to watch that video, could you just explain a little bit about what it actually consisted of, Brendan?
Yeah, so what it is the Bridgetown Hotel down in Murray Bridge in South Australia. So they went through, the owners of the hotel actually went through a massive refurb, pretty much stripped the whole thing and put it all together again. And what they did, they ended up employing up to 40 local people, either part-time or full-time staff that had never, or some of them had never worked before. Honestly, had never worked before. Some had been out of work for a period of time, but they were all registered job seekers through our employment service provider network. And the stories and the feedback, it's unfortunate. I think we might be able to get the link up somewhere and encourage people to go and have a look at this video. It just shows what you can do when you empower. There it is, it's just on the screen there now. Is when you empower people and give them the opportunity to take ownership of their life and be gainfully employed. It's such a powerful thing. It's what we do is very rewarding. Look, some of the wins are small along the way, some of the wins are big, but any win's a good win, and we love being able to provide opportunities for people to transition into work, for whether they're school leavers, whether they're people that are changing careers for whatever reason, or whether it's somebody that's been out of work for a long period of time. If we can facilitate that, we're happy.
And so, Brendan, I would presume that the Bridgetown Hotel, that they became a stakeholder and they worked with the employment facilitator in that region to develop some training options and so forth to get those staff on board. Absolutely.
So what happened there was a lot of the people had no transferable skills to work in that facility. They went through upskilling, they went through training with a local TAFE provider in South Australia, and this was all part of the activity that helped the Bridgetown Hotel. That little activity becomes so successful through a collaboration between obviously the host, which was the hotel, the employment service providers, which I believe were CBGT and Maydeck. That can be anybody, can come from anywhere, and facilitating those people into work, into meaningful work. It's really powerful, and it changes lives. It changes people's lives. And look, if we can do the same type of thing, and this is what we are trying to do at the moment, so we're trying to do this, and we're trying to look at different ways we can facilitate training and different RTOs, and trying to engage different things to give people opportunities. But ultimately, that's what we are trying to do here.
It might be interesting for people to know that although I can't source the December figures, in September of last year, there are roughly 200 people in the Indigo Shire who are registered as unemployed. And of course, that definition is quite loose. It would be great to find ways that we could activate those 200 people to find a life-changing work experience. So thanks, Brendan.
Just quickly to give you a really quick idea, and I'll jump off. In the Goulburn Murray region alone, we have just on 15,000 people that are registered as job seekers.
Wow. Yes, that's quite a number, isn't it? So
Absolutely.
You've got a big task ahead of you.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much for your time, both
and
Brendan,
thanks.
also thank you to Faye de Helen, who was working there behind the scenes. I would encourage people to take the time to look at that video, and the details have been put in the chat function. Thanks, Brendan. Okay.